Very warm temperatures in the afternoon. Temperatures, they're going up and they're staying up. Really nice forecast, especially if you're planning on going to the beach or the pool. Rain chances very slim. Another beautiful day in store. It's going to bring us a very high chance of storms. Isolated showers across the area. Mother Nature likes to remind us that it isn't set by a calendar. We are always on it for you, just in case things begin to pop.
Streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live, sponsored by AARP Tampa Bay.
How you doing, everybody? It is a Tuesday night edition. Nope, Thursday. Strike that. Start over. How you doing, everybody? It's a Thursday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live. Weekend is just about here. We had some rain last night. We had some rain today. We got our 7-day behind us. We're talking tropics. We got a lot of folks here. I miss our hellos. I mean, a lot of folks used to say, oh, you know, call it a romper room hello. But when we've had so many people here after Hurricane Ian, it was impossible to do so. But we definitely have some folks here, the usual folks. How y'all doing? Rita and Mary, and we've got Jacksonville's in the house with Michelle. Portugal. Peter from Portugal is here. How you doing? Susan, thank you very much for the stars. Again, all star donations in the month of October go for our hurricane relief effort. So thank you very, very much. James says he's not ready for the AARP stuff. You and me both, buddy. James, very nice guy, working with my son and in some golf stuff, not working with me because, one, I resist it, and two, it's pointless anyway at that point. But again, thank you very much for the stars. As I mentioned, all star donations go for the hurricane relief efforts. For Ian, thank you very much. Randy, hello, hello, hello to you, Aaron, as well. We've got Cape Coral's in the house with Amber. We've got Shannon, thank you. Frostproof's in the house with Tony. South Dakota. So we had Portugal, we have South Dakota, we have folks from all over. And I appreciate y'all stopping by. So we definitely, Tammy, our big Bucks fan who just normally calls me Suspenders, which is really not original because that's what a lot of people call me. But Tammy, I love you anyway. We've got Hardy is in the house. We've got Durham, New Hampshire. So, boy, we have a lot of folks here. Lakeland with Ginger. Bradenton with Tama. Is it Tama or Toma? Double M, I would go Tama. Probably wrong. Jonathan from Boston. So, yeah, we definitely have a lot of folks here. And what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and start out with the local weather for tonight, for tomorrow, into the weekend. We're going to talk tropics because if you remember the Climate Prediction Center yesterday, we were showing you the little graphic that was showing some development way out in the tropical Atlantic. Well, now the models are on that as well. Derek in North Dakota, how are you? Again, Teresa, thank you for the stars. Appreciate it. Red Bank, New Jersey. Oh, my heavens. We've got Maine in the house, too. We have got folks from all over. Now, is it because you're wanting to be part of Florida weather or you want to talk tropics or maybe a little bit of both? Well, let's go ahead and jump in. And we'll start with our local weather. LaCanto's in the house. Danny from Newport Richie. St. Pete, David. April, thank you very much. Very kind. Spring Hill, Wikiwachi. Sandra, very kind to you as well. Fort Myers in the house. Angie, hope you and yours are okay after Ian. So, here's what we have going on. Still some lingering rain across Highlands County. That front right on cue moved from north to south. We had no severe weather. It's perfect. Kelly Jo, Wilmington, North Carolina. How are you? In fact, we only had a handful of lightning strikes. Not a lot either way. So again, I would say hello to everybody. You know that. But when we get lots of folks here, I just can't do it all. So there's the rain. Closer look right now, Highlands County, east of Lake Placid, a couple of heavier showers. Nothing severe. Auburn, Indiana. James Anna, how are you? The Netherlands. Robert, holy cow. We've got folks from all over the globe here, from Portugal to the Netherlands to Port Richey. Current temperatures right now, upper 70s to lower 80s. A lot of clouds out there. Tampa checking in cloudy and 77 degrees. The winds are calm. The dew point in the lower 70s. That dew point will be dropping as drier air is coming in. Today we were 4 degrees below average this afternoon. This morning we were 4 degrees above average. Newfoundland's in the house. Ooh, Nellie, how'd you make it with your hurricane? Newfoundland got hit. Let me tell you, Ian was a beast. But Dana, I love you too. But Newfoundland got hit really, really. What was the storm before? It's all a blur now. It was the G storm, H. Was it Hermine? No, it wasn't Hermine. No, it would have had to have been. I don't remember. Perth, Australia is in the house. Oh, my heavens. What temperatures do mosquitoes freeze, Jamia? That would be 32 degrees. That would be 32. So the mosquito population does not hit the wall until we freeze. So unfortunately, even this cold snap is not going to help any at all. All right. So anyway, it was Fiona. Fiona. Okay. Thank you very much, Michael. That is very, very kind of you. Again, all star donations go for our hurricane relief funds. All right. So let's go ahead and see if I can possibly take this up full. That is my goal. It's kind of acting funky on me, I'm going to be honest. Kind of doing some weird stuff. Not wanting to take the full graphics. Guess maybe we're not going to take full because it's not working. Yeah, I'm getting like it's saying red alert, red alert. Is that bad, do you think? Do you think that's not a good thing? I don't know. Let's leave it with what we got. Because at least that's working for the time being. Red alert, DEFCON 3. Oh, man. Oh, Fiona, Newfoundland. Got it. It was Fiona. Okay. Now I got it. What about snakes? Do they freeze? I know that, what are the things that drop out of what are the things that drop out of the trees in South Florida? Iguanas. Iguanas freeze. They kind of hibernate. And when they do, yeah, this computer is acting really funky. It looks like I'm not going to be changing sources. Got some tap dancing to do because it ain't working. Anyway, I digress. So there's a look at the clouds, the showers coming on through. Futurecast tonight, we keep the clouds around. Sean wants to know where the 540 line is. We will get there. Patience. So tomorrow morning, a lot of clouds. Here's where the forecast gets a little tricky, all right? Going to get a little sciencey on you here. So in the summertime, when we get an easterly wind, what does that mean? It means late day storms, right? East-southeast wind, classic textbook summertime pattern, we get late day storms. Well, once we get to October, November, December, sometimes you're lacking the moisture for that easterly flow to give us those late day storms. However, this front is close enough to us across the southern third of the state. The moisture is still hanging in there a bit, and an easterly flow means sunshine in the morning, as you see here, but look what happens in the afternoon. All of a sudden, you start to get showers building on the East Coast, like we do in the summer. Now, not as it's strong. There won't be storms. They're typically low-topped showers. Hashtag sciencey. Thunderstorms in the summer go 40, 50, 60,000 feet high. These low-top showers there's not enough instability for them to really create anything more than just some quick passing showers. But that is what I think happens tomorrow. So the farther inland you live, the better the chances you will see some of those showers in those inland spots. As they move more to the west, as you see there, they start to fizzle out. So in spite of the fact that the front can't stay long tonight, so I had to make the 540 mark. Sean has to leave. Sean, where are you going? You're not going to tell me you're going to be watching the Bears and what's the team in Washington's name? I can't remember their name anymore. The Guardians or the Indians? I literally cannot even remember what the Washington football team's new name is right off the top of my head. The Commando? I can't remember. Anyway, point is, east to west flow means these showers try to move west. Same thing on Saturday. We are sunny in the morning. We're sunny early afternoon. Most of this area is going to be a beautiful day. Low to mid 80s, low dew points, really nice. Morning lows, upper 60s to low 70s. But as you see, there's going to be a couple of showers that try to move from east to west. All right? Sean, here you go. There's your 540 line. I'm serious. This is driving me crazy that I can no longer show anything other than what we're looking at here. That's just really terrible. Tech support. Do you guys ever see the movie Vanilla Sky? And he's like just yelling tech support the entire time. Turns out the whole thing was a dream. Yeah, it's not letting me switch sources. It's always something, isn't it? Anyway, there is a look at what I was talking about. If I can't show, wait a minute, okay, I can show that, so that works at least. At least I can show one thing. Watch, I can change sources to here.
Natural disaster could change your life forever.
Commanders, that's what it is. Yeah,
Turn
okay,
to
thank you, Steve.
AARP.
Yeah, there's that one, so I
We
can
help
change
older
to that.
adults and their families
Can I
prepare,
go back to full screen now?
respond,
Maybe it'll
and
let me.
recover with evacuation checklists to help you remember
Yes,
prescriptions
now it
and other
is.
essentials.
Hallelujah.
Information.
10-day forecast, Tuesday, Wednesday, highs in the lower 70s. Now you say, well, that's not that cold, right? Well, think about this. Think about this. If the average high is 86 degrees and we're going low 70s, that's 14 degrees below average. And that is pretty significant. And it isn't just us. Look at the entire eastern third of the U.S. Renee says, press the green button. So look at all that cold air. Now, if this was winter, you'd be talking about a major freeze and all the mosquitoes would die. But unfortunately, this is October, so that brings us into the low to mid-70s starting next Wednesday, which is really beautiful. I mean, it really is. And morning lows in the 50s and maybe some 40s in our northern counties. But that is a look at the cold air that's on the way. The commercial's on? Really? Oh, man, hold on. Let me see if I can listen to this. Hold on. No, not now. Maybe it was, but it's over now. So anyway, there's a look at your temperatures. Tonight, a lot of clouds. Tomorrow morning, partly sunny. For the boaters, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots, water temperature 80 degrees. Sunrise 7:30, sunset 7:02. The beach forecast in the lower 70s. By the way, I want to say something. So, low 80s rather. So my voice is going. I just took a lozenge and it seems to be helping. By the way, thank you to whoever it was if you're watching. I don't know if you are or not. Whenever there's a big hurricane, they send me packs of lozenges from Amazon, and I've got like four of the packs, and they really do help. And I say that because Scott works master control right now. He's in there. And I called him yesterday. I'm like, Scott, you may have to cut me off soon because my voice may not last. It's starting to go. So today I called him a few minutes ago. I'm like, hey, Scott, my voice is starting to go. He goes, dude, I heard you say that yesterday. You're fine. You'll make it till 8 o'clock. So he's probably right. But anyway, thanks to the lozenges. So whoever helped and the Diet Dr. Pepper. I wish I could bring this camera and show you how much Diet Dr. Pepper is behind this wall right here from the folks who sent this during the storm coverage. Can't even begin to tell you how it's stacked to the ceiling. It's a true story. Okay. All right. Somebody wants to know if there's any squalls anticipated with that squall line. With the front, rather, the answer would be no. Do not believe it will be. I doubt there's really enough moisture for much of anything, truthfully. All right, there's your 7-day. 84 on Friday, 87. See, I mean, the temperatures are going to be about where they should be. The mornings, you look at 87 over 69 there, that's exactly what it's supposed to be. That is normal for mid-October. But then by Tuesday, the front comes through, and it's a valid question because if it's going to bring such a big area of cold air, you would think that there may be a squall line associated with the front. I have not seen that to be the case. So there you go. All right. Now let's talk a little bit of tropical weather. All right. Here we go. I have been watching House of the Dragon. Jamia, in fact, you know what? Here we go again. This is me on my squirrel tangent. I never watched Game of Thrones. I never did. I watched the Red Wedding episode and the finale. That's what I watched. I didn't watch anything else. And it wasn't, I don't know, I had trouble understanding them and I didn't use closed captions or whatever. So I had a tough time with it. It wasn't my thing. Well, I've watched House of the Dragon. I really like it a lot. So 2 nights ago, I went back and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start watching Game of Thrones. So I watched 6 episodes in the last 2 nights and with subtitles. And I like it. But I'll tell you, it is and I'm sure you guys, probably many of you have seen it. It's pretty graphic. There's a lot of stuff in there. The kids should not be around, which I guess I knew that, but until you actually watch it, I mean, I knew there was violence. I saw the Red Wedding episode, the finale, obviously, with the dragons and stuff. But there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of visuals, right? Anyway, let's go back. So anyway, Jimmy, there's your answer. I do like House of the Dragon, and I'm now watching Game of Thrones again. All right, here we go. So this is a look at, Sean, there is your 540 line. For folks who are new, the 540 line is pretty much the freezing line. There's the 534 line, too. It's just a measure of thickness in the atmosphere. And when that number goes lower, the air grows colder. So instead of, look how close the 540 line and the 534 line are. Then there would be a 528 line. And it's just like tracking hurricanes when you're looking at millibars. You're looking at every 6 millibars. It's not the same number, but when you're looking at a storm with its pressure, that's how we gauge strengthening as the pressure. Air travels from high pressure to lower pressure. So when you have a lower pressure, when you're talking millibars, the air will travel faster from point A to point B, and therefore you will have stronger wind. Hashtag sciencey. Anyway, 540 is a freezing line. So there's a look at the GFS tomorrow. There's the GFS on Saturday morning. Seasonal numbers for us. You don't really see much rain, but look, you do see a little bit. See the Euro showing, the GFS showing just a little bit of rain. That gray is not cloud cover. That gray is actually light rain. You look on the scale here, less than 1/100 of an inch, but that is still that easterly flow that I talked about. So then you look at your 540 line and it starts to drop down. 528, 522. Holy cow, look at that. The 528 line goes all the way down to West Virginia. This is at 126 hours. That's 2 o'clock on the 18th. So the 540 line now goes all the way to South Carolina. You see that? So that is next Wednesday. The 540 line makes it to South Carolina. So they're going to see a freeze probably. And then it starts to lift. And look at the snow. The GFS is still showing lake effect snows. Lake effect snow is when you get the colder air over the warmer water of Lake Erie or whatever lake it is you're talking about. And what happens, it picks up moisture, dumps it on the lee side, and you have lake effect snows. So in the middle of October, there are lake effect snows according to the GFS. And that might even make it into Pittsburgh, Erie. I think it stays west of State College. But that is some serious, serious cold air. And then it pulls away. And then another blast. Holy cow, look at that. Day 8, another shot of cold weather as the 540 line goes back down again. So I mean, that's some serious cold for October. And then, remember what I talked about yesterday, and the models have been off and on this? So you get a little piece of energy that rides along the northern Gulf. Look at Texas. Then all of a sudden you get a little wave of low pressure that tries to develop. Look at that. Look at the GFS. Oh, GFS, you are drunk. But boy, look, okay, I want you, seriously, this is a perfect example of what I talked about 2 days ago, and then the model stopped showing it yesterday and it's back to showing it today. Look at Texas. See that? All right, we're going to go 6 hours out. And then we're going to go another 6 hours out. And then you go another 6 hours out. And then you all of a sudden have some hybrid development. This is in 10 days. And then it actually develops and goes into the Atlantic. So I'm going to go back in time. See what I'm saying? This is always a concern in October when you get warm Gulf waters and you get a little area of energy passing over that. It is always a thing. Okay? So let's look at the euro. Does it show the same thing? I would be willing to bet it does not. And it doesn't, because the GFS is usually out to lunch with the long-range forecast. But the point is, here's the euro, by the way. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There drops the 540. 540 into North Carolina, not quite as far as the GFS, but pretty close. Lots of cold air. And it does not bring that second wave that the GFS did. Remember but Look at that. I'll tell you, I'm going to say this again, folks. I'm going to say this again. You know, look at that area off of Florida. There's nothing organized with it, but it is such a common situation where in October, we have what we call a home brew area where you get the warm Gulf waters, you get a little piece of energy, and all of a sudden a little something can spin up. Now, usually it isn't very strong, but after Eta 2 years ago, we kind of all remember that things can pop up pretty quickly. So this is the Euro, this is the GFS. So they're both kind of hinting at something similar, coming in from a different angle, a different area, but still something worth looking at. So hurricane season does not end until the end of November. It is just a gentle reminder that while there's nothing out in the tropical Atlantic, that isn't where we usually look in October. Where we usually look is right here. The area that both the GFS and the Euro are trying to show. The cash cow GFS, Jennifer. Oh, yes. Cha-ching. Send that money my way. If anybody wonders what I'm talking about with that, there's a joker on Twitter who has accused several people constantly of getting money from the GFS when we push the GFS. The GFS is a model. It's just a mathematical formula. I don't understand it either. But nevertheless, it's a thing. So whenever anyone says we're getting cash from the GFS, it's because we're talking about the GFS. Anyway, point being, look at the tracks of many October systems. And dare I say, and again, there's nothing out here that shows any significant development on anything. But the last major hurricane to hit the Bay Area directly was the 1921 hurricane, which started here and ended here. You know, so it is certainly something climatologically normal to see development in the Gulf this time of the year. And, you know, the GFS and the Euro both kind of show there could be a little hybrid system developing out there. Am I concerned about it? Zero, not at all. But it's still worth looking at, and it's worth talking about. Now, talking about the tropical Atlantic, all right? Remember yesterday I showed you this map? No, not that one, this one. And the Climate Prediction Center was showing some potential development out in the tropical Atlantic right there next week, right? Well, clearly this is what it was looking at. And the Hurricane Center, by the way, now has something out there. There it is, the little area in yellow. But here's something that's important to remember. When we get a strong front coming in like we're going to, that will almost assuredly keep whatever's out there way off the coast of the U.S. It's going to run into that trough and go zoop, and just go just like that. So there's no real concern with this one at all, but that is what was being shown here. And if you look at the models, they too are showing development out in the Atlantic. But as you'll see it right there? It's exactly what we're talking about. There's your development. There's your front. And watch what happens when one bumps into the other one. It just starts accelerating northeastward and out of the picture. See it? Here, I'll move it up so you can see it better. Oops. And out to sea. All right. Euro. Does the Euro show any development at all? Yeah, a little bit. A little spin right here. Look right in the middle of your screen. Maybe a little bit of spin right there, but not much. So nothing to worry about is the moral of this story. Nothing to worry about, but it is just a reminder that, yes, this is the time of the year that we can get these homegrown, these areas that develop very close to land because of all that warm water, and we have to keep an eye on it. All right? Okie dokie. So, We now have 4.5 minutes left until I'm going to go watch football. What a horrible game. The Bears and what is their name again? The Commanders? No, the Commanders. It's an awful game. Carson Wentz has just been a bust so far. So, zoop. Deb. All right, so does anybody have weekend questions? Again, if you're looking at the forecast, cloudy tonight, showers tapering off. Tomorrow morning, sunny. Couple of showers from the East Coast moving east to west across the state late afternoon, early evening. The farther inland you are, the better the chance you will see something. Most of us will not. Saturday, even less coverage. Sunday and Monday, warmer, maybe a little more humidity returning. That stronger front comes in on Tuesday, and then we cool off dramatically by the time we hit the middle of next week. All right? Yeah, Gary, that's kind of the way I look at it, too. I mean, I'm old school, but whatever. So, yeah, these Thursday games have been pretty horrific. Jules, you hit the nail on the head there. My fantasy football teams, yeah, I'm doing really well in a couple of leagues. I'm doing really bad in 2 more leagues. We have a league here that I'm a part of, and I've won 2 of the last 3 years. But I had a couple of bad injuries with Javonte Williams and Tua, and my draft strategy was just not very smart. So I'm struggling. I'm near the bottom of that league. But, the season's only 5 weeks in. You still have a chance to catch up. Weekend of the 21st to the 23rd, Deborah wants to know. Actually, you know what? It will be seasonal and very nice. It'll be sunny with highs back in the probably in the low 80s by then. All right? That system's going to be nice on, let's see, any other questions? I'm just going through your questions right now. Yeah, Russell Wilson's just lost. You're exactly right. Could have thrown it to Hamler in the end zone, Penn Stater, but did not. How cold are we talking next week, Sean wants to know. Well, there's your 7-day. I would say low to mid 70s on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday, back around 80 degrees. Some really nice weather the end of next week and into the weekend. Steve in Clearwater, how you doing? Good to see you. Do I think we'll have a cold winter with lots of frost? Probably not. Is it going to be windy at Clearwater on Saturday? It will not. It will not be, Sherry. Bengals Nation's in the house with Rachel. How long does this cooler weather last? Great question, Devlin. Usually it lasts about 2 or 3 days tops, especially in October. It is by no means going to be locked in, and we're going to have it for a while. Going to the cruise on the 21st. Kara, you will be fine. Good question about Wilma. Wilma was a late season storm. It is always a possibility in October or November that we get a storm from the Caribbean come this way. You cannot write off that possibility yet. You just can't do it. Wikiwachi girls basketball. I'm not really sure why we're saying that, Rachel, but hey, props to the Wikiwachi girls basketball team. So I think that's about it, guys. I think that, again, tomorrow, a few inland showers, maybe making it back to around I-75. I doubt we see much to the west, and sunshine will be abundant right on through the weekend. A really, really nice weekend. I will be off tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, taking a little trip. Not the whole fam, just some of us. And so I will not have a DPL on Tuesday, but I will be back on Wednesday for the next edition of Dennis Phillips Live. You guys have a great night, and I will see you next week. Thanks for stopping by.
One natural disaster could change your life forever. What can you do? Turn to AARP. We help older adults and their families prepare, respond, and recover with evacuation checklists to help you remember prescriptions and other essentials, information to help you avoid scammers, connections to on-the-ground emergency responders, and lots of other tips and tools. At AARP, we're here to help. Find us at aarp.org/local.